causes, which can lead to stress. So now what are the consequences? How do we know that our child is stressed? How do you know that your child is having some kind of difficulty somewhere? So there is an active reaction and there is a passive reaction. So we can see that an active reaction are those aggressive children throwing tantrums every now and then. Certain of the children out here are those active ones, where they were crying and wrestling out there with the teachers and they wanted to come back here. Or many of the times you've seen that when you go to a mall, your child does not want to come and then he starts rolling on the floor and banging his hands and legs and I don't want to go and creating a ruckus. That is what an active reaction is. It is still better because the child is expressing out, right? But there are certain children who go into passive reaction. Passive reaction could be, a children, they go into isolation and withdrawal. Now these are big words. It simply means that your child, some children you will feel that the mothers always complain that my child does not play with many kids. He just sits in one corner. He plays with his own toys. He doesn't mingle with many of the other kids in the school. So these are things, unusual fears and nightmares. Or whether it is, small habits of nail biting, thumb sucking. Till when the children, initially when they have this thumb sucking habit, it is still understood. But when your child grows and you still feel that he's still sucking his thumb, so that means there is somewhere something is wrong. Somewhere something is that we need to check and, just tap and understand. So low self-esteem and poor words. So these are the passive reactions. I feel active are the better ones because at least the child expresses and, tells you, "Bhai, this is my problem. Do you understand or you don't?" Okay, he's rebellious, he's talking it out. But what about a passive child? You will never ever come to know what is going on in his or her mind. Compromised immune system. You find that your child frequently falls ill. My child is always falling. This is because stress compromises the immune system and leaves a child more susceptible to infections. This is a very scientifically researched thing that children, when they are under they tend to fall ill more often than the others. Yeah. Sometimes they complain of frequent aches and pains, headache, body ache, lethargy. I don't want to go to school. My stomach is aching. I don't feel like going. These are not excuses. Sometimes, of course, they are, but of course, we always consider them as excuses. But it could be that these are ways that they're trying to cope up with their stress. Yeah. Eating disorders. Some children might eat more, leading to obesity, more on the junk food, more on things. Or it could be the other way where they are absolutely not eating. You are forcing, and those are fussy eaters. Your child does not want to have what you make, but he wants to have chips and Lays. Yeah? Sleep issues. There are many, you ask the teachers and you find there are many sleeping beauties inside the classroom where the child is peacefully sleeping when the teacher is talking. So long-term effects are, okay, there are many other effects that we see, nowadays that we call stress-related diseases. Somewhere down the line, me being a homeopath, because homeopathy is a more deeper science, a more holistic approach towards things, where we understand that, the present illness is not, the roots are somewhere, much behind. And when you trace back the history and when you understand, you find that there are some things, which are starting from the childhood or from certain places, where the stress point is, and then it has been lingering and now it has come up as a physical complaint. So you have long-term effects also.